On this 31st day of January, Mr. B.B. Wolf will be tried for his various offenses. Is he guilty or is he innocent? Only you can decide. All rise. The Honorable Judge I.L. Hanback presiding.
You may be seated.
The defendant, Mr. B.B. Wolf, is being charged of breaking, entering, willful destruction of property, impersonating a sheep, corrupting a minor, attempted murder, assaulting with deadly natural weapons, and jaywalking.
How do you plead?
Like this, usually. I didn't do it. I'm an innocent victim of circumstance. Please hear me. I beg you.
No, no, no. How do you plead to the charges brought against you?
Oh, that. Not guilty.
Opening statements. Your Honor, I intend to prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this wolf, this hideous being, is in fact guilty of all the crimes that were just mentioned and is a menace to society. We should be put away for the good of all humanity.
Your Honor, in defense of myself, I intend to prove that all the charges brought against me are purely circumstantial. It's all vicious rumor and hearsay. If you cut me, do I not bleed?
Mr. Wolf?
Sorry. Thank you, Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
I call to the stand pig number 1.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? From your brother's grave.
I did.
I now pronounce your man's wife.
Nope.
Your Honor, she's a witness. You may be seated.
Now pig number 1. Are you the pig who built a straw house?
Like, yes, I am.
What exactly happened to that house on the date of February 30th at 3:15 p.m.?
It was grown down by that, like, hideous beast, wolf. Wolf! I saw him do it! It was wolf! I saw the whole thing!
It's the wolf you just referred to in this courtroom right now.
Like, yeah.
Thank you. No further questions.
Now, Miss Big, where were you at the time that your house was blown down? Like, I was inside, like, taking a mud bath. Well, if you were inside following, you couldn't very well have seen me outside now, could you? No further questions.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask pig number 1 another question. Miss Pig, after Wolf blew your house down, I think you said you had a perfect roof, did you not?
Like, yeah, like, that's what I was, like, trying to say.
And can you identify the predator, perpetrator of that foul deed?
It was him.
Thank you. You may be seated. Next, I call pig number 2 to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? From your brother's grave.
Pig number 2. Are you the pig who lived in the wooden house?
And can you identify the individual who destroyed your home, assaulted you, and tried to kill you? Thank you. No further questions.
Now, my spoiled little friend. Are you really sure it was me that you saw? In fact, it wasn't really me at all, was it?
Objection, Your Honor. He's speeding the witness.
Approach the bench. Rock, paper, scissors contest. Go. Ha! Objection overruled.
Thank you. No further questions.
The whole thing. We'll frame it in the house. It was horrible. It was stuff flying everywhere. It was wrong.
Ham and Swiss on rye. Pork chop left.
Bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
I'll have bacon with blanket. I mean, chef salad. Where's the low-count dressing?
Next, I call her the stand grandmother. The sweetest, kindest old lady there is. Hey there, Turbo. Say, grandmother, got any more of those homemade cookies left? Oh, thank you. Don't allow vanity to become your downfall.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, from your brother's grave? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, from your brother's grave? I said, do you solemnly swear?
That's quite all right. I think I can take it from here. Now, madam, you may be seated. Grandmother, can you please identify the hideous beast who broke into your home, assaulted you, and forced you into the closet? Thank you. No further questions.
If it pleases the court, I would like to have grandmother listed as a hostile witness. Now, Granny, you do know what a hostile witness is, don't you? Someone who feels hostility. When you want to get back at someone for milking you for your cookies. When you want to get even with someone for calling a young lady such as yourself old. Doesn't that get you angry? Don't you just want to hit someone? Thank you. No further questions.
That wasn't fair.
All's fair in love and court.
Next, I call Little Red Riding Hood to the stand.
Why, hello, Miss Hood. You're looking lovely this evening.
Why, thank you.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Drunk abroad is bread.
Uh-huh.
Please be seated.
Now, Miss Hood, on the day of June 31st, were you not going along the path to your grandmother's house when this fiend accosted you?
Uh-huh.
Did he not frighten you?
Yes.
And did he ask you directions to your grandmother's house, then go there and attack you?
Yes.
Could you identify this furry, ferocious fiend for the court to see? It was him. Thank you. No further questions.
Yeah, I saw that too. Wolf assaulted the little girl in the blue dress. She was sitting on a puppy eating birds away when he hit her. Bang!
One more outburst like that, and I'll find you in contempt of court.
Now, Red, didn't you point out to me that you were going to your grandmother's house?
Yes, but
I thought it was an invitation. Didn't you point out it was just over the river and through the woods? Just over the river and through the woods.
Objection, Your Honor. He's leading the witness.
Counsel, front and center. Arm wrestling contest. Three, two, one, go! 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 Ah! First number go.
no! That's not why I'm at all! You're just stupid me! Here's what really happened. Why, I remember like it was yesterday.
What's happening? Well, why are we looking like this?
It always happens when someone flashes back to the past.
Hey there, Elizabeth Riding Hood.
Hi, Wolfie.
You sure are looking good.
Who are you?
I'm the big bad wolf. Where are you going?
I'm going to visit my poor, ill grandmother.
Where would that be?
Why, everyone knows that's silly. It's over the river through the woods.
Mind if I take a peek at your, basket of goodies?
You leave me alone! It's for my grandmother! Come on, Wolfie! Ah! Ah!
Best sort of three.
No, what do you think I am? Stupid!
Oh, no, Your Honor. That's not how it happened at all. Here's how it really happened. Oh, hey there, Elizabeth Riding Hood.
Hi, Wolfie.
You're looking good.
Who are you?
I'm P.B. Wolf. Where are you from?
Going to visit my poor, ill grandmother.
Where would that be?
Why, everyone knows that's silly. It's over the river and through the woods.
Mind if I take a peek at your basket of goodies?
You leave that alone. It's for my grandmother. Come on, Wolfie.
The emotional trauma still haunts me today, and no further questions. And now for a character witness, I'd like to call to the stand my good friend Badger.
Objection, Your Honor. He's witnessing the badger.
Counsel, front and center.
What'll it be this time, Your Honor?
Dance contest. Go.
All right. Would you kindly step off the bench, Your Honor? Thank you.
So the one cow says to the other, man, I wish I could give that free milk.
Hold on. Objection overruled. Swear the badge red. That's
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Dr. Buzz Britt, what are you doing? He's tweaking. He's tweaking. Right. He's tweaking.
Cool, I swear.
Now, Ben, how long have you known me?
7 years. Yeah, 7 years.
Oh yeah, that's right, ever since I broke that mirror. You know, breaking mirror, 7 years bad luck. See, that gets it. Now, in that time, how would you describe my personal character?
Well, I would say you are friendly, kind, considerate, loyal, and, relevant.
Drink it one more time.
Oh, reverent.
Hey! Now, have you ever known me to do anything that could be construed as violence?
What? You, BB Wolf? Come on, no, never.
Thank you. No further questions.
How many years did you say you knew Wolf?
7 years. Yeah, 7 years.
Your Honor, I object. This witness is incompetent. I demand this full testimony be stricken from the record.
Your Honor, the witness is an upstanding citizen of the forest.
counsel, front and center. Staring contest. Go. You wait. Objection overruled. strike him one more time, I'll find you in contempt.
What's his name?
Next I call pig number 3 to the stand.
Because you know I'm all about that. Not trouble. I'm all about that. Not trouble. I'm all about that. Not trouble. I'm all about that. Yeah, it's pretty.
Swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Show your brother's bread.
Think I came here a lot? Think I wrote another 6 all over here a lot?
No, let me sit down. I'm not wasting my breath with the life of you.
Okay.
Pig number 3, were you ever threatened by the big bad wolf?
Ooh, honey, you don't know the half of it. First off, my sisters, dumb and stupid, are exactly that, dumb and stupid. I mean, who makes a house made of straw and sticks? Who does that? Well, I know. So I'm gonna make my house made of bricks. They're gonna be like, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. So this fool is stop, you better sit down. You better sit down. Go come and blow both their houses down. Now guess who they got to live with. I said, guess who they got to live with. Me. I mean, can you imagine being those two slides back there? No, it's just bad. It's just bad.
And then not your sisterly pigs come running into your house after he destroyed theirs?
Honey, are you slow? I've done told you that now they're living with me.
Well, can you identify the vicious villain of those foul deeds?
Oh, you deaf too. You didn't hear me? When I said it was that foul breath fool right there?
All right. No further questions.
No. Pig. Oh, hell no. Now I know. You did not just call me pig. My mama did not name me Evangeline Lawrence for nothing, honey. You can call my sister pig, but you can't call this fine hourglass figure right here pig.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, we can throw that right here. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you.
Are you really sure it was me?
I know this fool's not coming here to brag. I really look like a fool to him. I know I'm not. I'm from the woods. We go down the woods. I'm from the woods. I know. I'm not here to brag me. I know. Ooh. Yeah, remember that. And next time you come by my house, I will cut you. You hear me? I will cut you.
Oh, yeah. Cut me, baby.
See me later.
And for the record, my breath is minty fresh.
That's what happened. Wolf did it, and I know you're wrong.
All right, who are you? Why do you keep interrupting in my courtroom?
You're right. I believe that's the boy who cried wolf.
I can draw.
Follow my voice. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Stop it there. Put your left hand here, please. No. Put your left hand on the book, please.
Well, why didn't you just say so?
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Sir, brother's grip.
I follow.
Now, why don't you tell us all exactly just what you saw?
Well, first of all, assaulted the little girl in the green cloak. Then he threw her grandmother in the oven. Then he climbed up on the roof where she was eating all of the gingerbread. Then he ran over the big straw house with a lawnmower and painted the big mud house with whitewashing. And that's when things got really crazy because the bagger came in on a even console. And all three pigs joined into a mariachi band.
All right, look, stop. Just stop. Look, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and may I remind you that you are still under oath. Are you legally blind?
No, of course not.
Standing over here. Don't you think it's rather silly you should be claiming you saw all these things?
Aye, but I'm a poor actor, and this is a good paying union job. Right? Come on, right? I will be leaving now. Keep it real, Billy.
Same to you.
I have no further witnesses.
Wolf, have you any more witnesses to call to the stand?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call Mr. B.B. Wolf to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Trust the Lord, brother's grip.
I do solemnly swear.
Please be seated.
Now, Mr. Wolf, did you not cough up and blow down the little pig's houses? Oh no, I was out jogging to make my aerobic workout for the day. I did stop along the trail by a straw house and later by a stick house. I was breathing hard, I was winded, I suppose I could have been huffing and puffing, but the poor construction of the hose caused them to fall down, sir. Now, what about the accusation that you're going to eat the three little pigs? Oh no, sir, that would not be nice. Besides, I'm a vegetarian. Plus, you met Evangeline.
Oh, yeah. It's all about that bass, baby.
Now, what about grandmother? Did you not lock her up and leave her in the closet? Oh, certainly not. When I arrived at her home, my presence must have alarmed her. It's a common mistake for people to make just because I'm big and hairy. They think I mean to do them harm. She screamed and ran into the closet. I tried getting her out, but she went something under the doorknob, blocking me out. Now, just why were you in sheep's clothing? Well, sir, I was going to a costume party. That's different. Now, what about Little Red Riding Hood? What was that all about, you beast? Well, sir, as I pointed out before, I thought she'd invite me over to her grandmother's house. Just a poor, lonely soul looking for someone to care for. Just a lonely, woodland creature looking for someone to love. Is that so wrong? Certainly not. For then we would all be guilty. Thank you. No further questions.
You may cross-examine the witness.
But how do you explain your most heinous... But how do you explain your most heinous crime of all? Jaywalking.
Well, sir, I wasn't really jaywalking. I was apprehended in the process of making a U-turn. They just got me before I could finish the U.
No further questions. Just go sit down.
Closing statements?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard many testimonies from the victims personally. And it is now your moment to find this wolf, this hideous creature of the night, guilty for all the crimes I have proven he is responsible for committing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I ask you one question. Am I on trial for being a wolf? Hath the wolf not feelings? Does he not hunger and thirst like any other? I believe I have shown that all of the evidence brought against me is purely circumstantial. So please, do not find me guilty of things I may have done, find me innocent of things I haven't done.
The jury will deliberate.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, boys and girls, you have heard the testimony of both sides. And now it is your turn to decide. I'm going to count to 3. When I reach 3, if you believe Mr. Wolf to be guilty, call out the word guilty. And if you believe Mr. Wolf to be innocent, call out the word innocent. When I have your decision, I will raise my hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3! The jury has found Mr. Wolf to be innocent.
Objection, Your Honor. This has been a travesty of justice. That wolf is guilty. You can see it in his eyes.
Do you think that door came in? I'm kind of hungry.
It's in the back.
But, Your Honor, Your Honor! Right now, I'm not going to have a hideous creature like you running around in my forest. Evangeline! No, anything but that!
It was going down like the wind. It was going down like the gills. They went back. Remember the face. Yellow, boom, boom.
The next trial. The next trial. The next trial on the fairy tale court of Dottie is the people versus the wicked witch, alias the evil queen. And now, Judge Jay Fail is presiding. All rise.
Thank you. Such a wonderful jury. Welcome to the trial. We've got such great things in store for you. Like, the witch is here! And we've got the bailiff! And my co-host, the DA. We got Franco in the house! Oh, thank you, such a wonderful jury. We've got so much more in store for you. Like the Scarecrow! And Sleeping Beauty! Oh, thank you, such a wonderful jury. Please be seated.
The people versus the wicked witch, alias the evil queen. The witch is being accused of 3 counts of harassment, conspiracy, destruction of property. 2 counts of kidnapping, attempted murder, and cannibalism. Attempted murder by poisoning, attempted murder by arson, participation in slavery, and speeding on her broomstick.
How do you plead?
Oh, I don't plead.
My client pleads not
Guilty, Your Honor.
Excuse me.
Opening statements? evil name, the most heinous villain in all of the kingdom. Are you going to put up with her evil deeds?
No.
Succeed, you will walk our paths unattended. No! We must take a stand now to prevent any further wrongdoing. She must be found guilty for the good of the whole kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my client is no criminal. She's simply a victim of misunderstanding, who's only trying to defend herself and what is rightfully her property. Please, don't add to the wrongdoings that she has already suffered. After hearing her side of the story, I know that you will find her not guilty of the crimes for which she's being accused. Thank you. Prosecution is called the first witness.
I call to the stand the cowardly lion.
Counsel?
What? What do you mean he's not coming?
I spoke with him. He said he was too busy being king of the forest to testify here.
All right. Then I call to the stand the Tin Woodsman.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
What now?
He said he was going to show off, but his heart wasn't in it.
Well, that figures. All right. Then I call to the stand the Scarecrow.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help your brother Shred? Please be seated.
Scarecrow. Tell the court about the time the witch tried to kill you. You'll have to speak up. You'll have to speak louder.
When suddenly the witch popped out of nowhere on top of the roof of this house and she knew it was me. You went for the TV and I would have burned up.
Can you identify that evil witch for the court to see?
Yeah. Yes. She's dead.
Oh, no further questions.
Now, Scarecrow, old chap, isn't it true that you were trespassing on my client's private property at the time this event occurred?
I don't recall if we were playing it or not.
How convenient. But you do admit that you were trespassing, choosing to ignore the signs clearly marking her boundary.
But that's no reason to burn me alive. Besides, she was what are we doing?
Just answer the question, yes or no, were you trespassing?
Yes, no.
And were you not also hired by a mysterious person, known only as Wizard, to be hidden and kill this witch in cold blood?
It was cold water.
Just answer the question, yes or no.
Yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit that the Scarecrow and his friends were trespassers with harmful intentions, and any action that my client may have taken was purely self-defense. Your witness.
Thank you. Scarecrow, I really just have one question for you. I understand that during this time, you had no brain. Is that correct?
Objection, Your Honor. The defense is battering the witness.
Wait a minute. I thought you were the defense.
I am the defense. Why'd you call an objection?
I didn't call an objection. You called an objection.
No, you called an objection.
You called an
No, I
objection.
called an objection. Counsel, here, please.
Extended potatoes. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato more. Objection sustained. The witness will answer the question.
Sir, you just, I got my brain later, sir. Yeah, what are your honorary?
Ornery? Are you calling me ornery? Are you out of your mind?
Your Honor, he said honorary, not ornery.
Oh, carry on then.
Sir, you were describing for the court the whereabouts of your brain at that time.
Yeah, I sort of had it, I think. But I
time of your disagreement with my client?
I think. Well, that's a no-brainer.
Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that the scarecrow, who was knowingly brainless at the time, wasn't incompetent, should not have even been on the streets. Because of this, his whole testimony is invalid, and I demand to be stricken from the records. You may be seated. Next, I call the flying monkey to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
It's Robert Brothers Graham.
The Grimm brothers. The Grimm brothers.
You live with a witch. Isn't it true that she abused and beat you and your fellow monkeys on a daily basis? That you were forced into hard labor and made to do her dirty work? Yes, it is true. Proving once again the true heartlessness of this witch. No further questions.
Isn't it true that you and your fellow monkeys were homeless when the witch found you?
We were in the streets and in the skies.
And did she not feed you when you were hungry, clothe and shelter you when you were cold, and care for you when you were lonely?
But she made us work day in and day out.
You did a few simple chores, the least you could do after my client's generosity. No further questions.
Next, I call Dorothy to the stand.
If it's all seemed to you, can I just touch the back part of the book?
Well, I suppose.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? It's Robert Brothers Graham.
I do. A total two.
Please be seated.
Now, Dorothy, tell us all about your experiences with this evil witch.
Well, oh, damn.
You were talking about the witch.
Well, all I know is that Toto and I arrived by accident when we landed in Wonderland. The good witch gave me these ruby slippers for good luck. Cute, aren't they?
Oh yeah, look, they even sparkle with light.
The next thing I know, this wicked witch. Back at ya. Was chasing after me, threatening me and Toto and demanding my shoes. It was very rude.
And you had never met her before. She had no reason to attack you like that, did she?
I've never met her before in my life. Then some friends and I were on our way to Emerald City to ask for help from the witch. Had to place us.
Poor thing, what? That's simply terrible. You must have suffered so.
We were very scared. Then the witch kidnapped us, locked us up in her dungeon, and she was going to kill us. All because she wanted my shoes, which I just couldn't seem to get off my feet.
So Envy and Avarice drove her to attempted murder.
Objection, Your Honor. Envy and avarice are sins, they're not crimes. Excuse me, miss, you're gonna have to move.
Oh, okay.
Now it's part of the show where we have a lip sync battle. You're up first. Let's go. Okay, you're up next. Let's go. Objection sustained. DA loses again.
Now, where was I?
I'm a brave soul.
Oh, right. You truly are a brave soul to have overcome all the evil this witch has put into your path. No further questions.
I have a few questions. Isn't it true that your house flattened my client's sister upon your arrival in Munchkin Land, thus cold-bloodedly killing her?
If you please, sir, I didn't mean to. It was an accident.
But that doesn't make it okay, does it? Whether you call it murder or accidental manslaughter, her sister is still dead, is she not?
Preach. Well,
Oh, and did you not also receive stolen property? A pair of ruby slippers that belonged to my client's family?
they were given to Goodwill.
And you watched them take them off my client's sister's cold dead feet, so you knew that they were neither your property nor her witches, didn't you?
Amen. Well,
Oh, in the poppy field, where you claim that my client poisoned the flowers, whose property was that?
I don't know, sir.
So you were knowingly trespassing on somebody else's land, perhaps with his witches, weren't
We weren't knowingly trespassing. We were on our way to Emerald City, along the Eldred Road, and it took us to the poppy field. We could see the city on the other
you?
side.
Convenient shortcut. They couldn't be bothered to go the legal way, so they cut through somebody else's property. Trampling flowers, without mercy. Oh.
Well, what about the time that she locked us up in her dungeon? She was going to kill us.
What else could she do? You are the known killer of a sister who was attempting to kill again just because somebody named Wizard told you to. You were willing to trade her life for a free trip to Kansas. The dungeon is too good for the likes of you. She must have been terrified having one of her very own. You disgust me.
I just want to go home. There's no place like home. There's no
Dorothy, everyone!
Next, I call the magic mirror to the stand.
Magic mirror, everyone!
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So every brother's read.
I always do. I show what's true.
Please be seated.
Now, Mary, tell us. One second. Mary, tell us what you know about Snow White.
Snow White was the fairest of them all, and so my queen paid her a call. The queen thought to give Snow the boot she thought the prince would find up to.
Did she act on these feelings of jealousy and anger?
Picked an apple and brew. The dawn the costume and off she flew. The brew was poisoned and then she placed into an apple. It was quite late. She went in the sky to see Snow White. So Snow the apple and Snow took a bite. She fell unconscious and dropped to the ground. My queen must see with airless sound.
Traitor!
My queen always show us true. That's all and here to do.
There will be no more outbursts like that in my courtroom. I'm the only one that gets to have outbursts. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Carry on. Thank you, Mary. No further questions.
Now, Mia, How do you know all this information? Did you follow my client?
I could not at all. I was nailed to the wall.
And if the apple salesman was truly disguised, how would you know that this was the witch?
I know these things because I'm magic. I hate it when they get so tragic. I saw her give the proof to snow. If I had not, how would I know? Words.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit that there's no way that this Mia could have known that the disguised apple saleswoman was my client without being there at the time of the apple sale. Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you for coming. Defense attorney, everyone.
Next I call Snow White to the bench.
If you're in court, I don't stand for. Nonsense. It's just fairy tales. Everything's rated G, I can assure you.
Cover, it's got some dirt and some boot on it. Do you have a dish rag or something? I've done a lot of cleaning up after total flies in my time.
Will this do for now? Do you solemnly swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Instructor Brothers forever. Please be seated.
Now, Miss White, isn't it true that because this witch threatened you, your family had to hide you in the forest, fearing for your life?
Yes.
And when the witch, who was using her alias of Queen, discovered your whereabouts, did she not disguise herself as an old lady and try to poison you?
Yes, she did.
Tell the court what happened.
I was home cleaning house when I saw this little old lady outside the window. She was selling apples. I thought it would be nice to make an apple pie for the dwarves. So I looked at them and she gave me one to sample. I wanted to help her. She looked poor and lonely. It's a birthday! I took a bite and there must have been something in it because that's all I remember until my blood came wrong.
You poor thing. I won't let something so traumatic happen to you again. No further questions.
Smart. Now, Snow, you said that you were cleaning a house. Are there any witnesses who can put you in the time in question?
No, sir. I was drunk.
And are there any medical reports showing that the apple that you ate has something poisoned?
No.
Your Honor, this testimony is all hearsay. There is no proof, and therefore I demand it be stricken from the records. Therefore I demand it be stricken from the records.
Somebody called in?
He wants the last testimony stricken from the record.
Oh, why didn't you just say so? Stricken.
No further questions. Sit down.
Snow White, everyone.
Next I call to the stand Sleeping Beauty.
Welcome to trial. Sleeping Beauty, everyone. She's so beautiful.
Oh my, that is disgusting.
Do you solemnly swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Instructor Brothers forever.
I do.
Please be seated.
Beauty, isn't it true that this witch cursed you with death upon reaching your 16th year?
Yes, and if the Good Fairy hadn't altered the curse, I would have died. As it happened, I just caught up on my beauty sleep.
Why did the witch want to kill you?
I don't know. I've never met her before in my life. I can only guess it's because she's jealous, because I'm a princess, and she's just an old hag. Please! Not worth it.
Petty jealousy. A very base motive, just as I had suspected. No further questions.
Now, Beauty, isn't it true that the whole kingdom tried to outcast Miss Witch at your christening? Didn't your parents give all the other fairies precious gifts, while excluding my clan from the gift giving, thereby publicly humiliating her in front of all her peers? I don't remember. I was young at the time. It was my christening. However, her name was not on the guest list in my scrapbook. Proof of her being wrongfully outcast in her own kingdom. No further questions. You may sit down.
Sleeping Beauty, everyone.
Next I call the charming prince to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help your brother's grave?
Of course, I'm always honest, brave, valiant, fearless, and most of all, modest.
Please be seated. Prince, tell the court about Snow White.
Of course, love and poison by the way. Only two loves kids can awaken up. Rescuing down into the dress, one of my specialties. Using my superior techniques, I was able to rescue her.
And you know it was the witch who killed her because the dwarf she was living with at the time told you this?
It was the dwarf who told me yes, but what do you mean living with? I didn't know she was living there.
Pull yourself together, man. Tell us what you know about Sleeping Beauty.
For the poor girl that sleep for 100 years. Many have tried to wake it up, but it was the eye, the true master came along and the spell broke it.
And you dare tell me about the dwarf?
No, it's not what you think, it's not. Order, beast.
I mean, really, it wasn't like that at all. You both be with real me.
And with her, she's good enough to be your great-grandmother.
No, man.
So what? You nigga who? Don't you even remember my name?
You forgot, man. How could you? With that tramp religiously coming in the force of all those men?
What can I say? It's my natural charm. It runs in the family.
And as for you, you brazen hussy.
Don't you brazen hussy me, wait.
I like to go walk around in the middle of the forest, in the middle of the night, just inviting trouble.
Bring it on, wake me up.
Fanny in the closet!
welcome witness. Really, you should come to help.
You know, I really thought Snow White had her there for a second.
Beauty's always wins.
Yeah, but Snow White had all the agility, you know?
Nah, Pink always wins.
You know, I'm glad I only have one woman in my life, and her name is Justice.
Justice, huh? Good luck with that.
The charming Prince Edward.
Well, next I call Gretel to the stand.
Hello, everyone.
You tell me swear. Tell the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help your brother's bread.
I mean, if you give me a cupcake, I got one last time.
Just sit down.
Gretel, tell us about the night you and Hansel met the witch.
We were lost and hungry. We saw a big house made of cake and candy, so we ate some of it. Then the bitch invited the wait,
What?
The bitch.
The what?
The bitch. The bitch.
Oh, the witch!
Yeah. Then the bitch invited us in, and we thought she was going to help us. But after a few days, she got angry and decided to boil us alive in her oven to eat us for her dinner.
Must have been very scary. Two poor children, lost and alone in the woods. Only to be taken advantage of by this evil witch.
Yeah.
What happened between the time she invited you in and the time she tried to put you in the oven?
But she made me her slave, and she got Counselor to feed him to make him plumper for her supper.
So after she kidnapped you, she turned you into a personal slave and put your brother in the oven with the intent to eat him.
Yeah.
These are surely the actions of a sick and twisted mind. No further questions.
Now, Gretel, isn't it true that you were trespassing on my client's private property at the time that this event occurred? Weren't you literally eating her out of house and home?
It was time for dessert.
Didn't your parents ever teach you to respect other people's privacy?
It was time for dessert.
And if you were lost, why didn't you just ring the doorbell and ask for help? You could have been nice to her after all. She did give you a meal, but no. You weren't hungry because you ate all of that candy. What do you have to say to yourself, young lady?
There was cake too.
Next I call Hansel to the stand.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help your brother's bread.
What is that in food? Is there any more?
Pay attention to me. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help your brother's bread.
Yeah, can I have more?
Yeah, whatever.
Describe for us the events of the night when you met the witch.
It's like Greg to say, for some reason our parents wanted us to get lost, and we were on our way home and we found the witch's house. The first night was great, like a wedding present. But then we figured out she really wanted to eat us. Things sort of went downhill from there.
Yes. Being enslaved and in prison with the threat of intended death and cannibalism can make a person tend to see the dark side of things. No further questions.
Now, Hansel, you did know that this was somebody else's house that you were destroying, did you not?
It was gingerbread.
Yet, knowing it wasn't yours, you trespassed on my client's private property and destroyed the exterior of her exquisite woodland cottage.
Yes. Oh, and the chocolate frosting was divine. The cake was a little dry. You might want to put some more oil on your cake next time. Except we make easy repair.
Instead of having you thrown in the slammer for your crime, it's my client took pity on you, two children lost alone in the woods at night. She let you in, she fed you, and she gave you nice pets.
Yeah, but then she locked me in her dungeon. She said she was going to fatten me up. She was going to eat me. Say, speaking of eating, is it lunchtime yet? Or can I just have some more stuff in the room?
Somebody, give that boy a napkin. Call him a witness.
truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
swear for Rose Grib.
Indeed I do.
Please be seated.
Now, Miss Witch, you've heard the testimony from the many witnesses tonight. Please, give us your side of the story.
Well, sir, it is true. I have had a few run-ins with some of the local children. It's not uncommon to think of me as the witchy old lady down the path. Children can be so cruel, you know.
Absolutely.
However, each time I was in emotional turmoil. First, it was the embarrassment of being shunned by my neighbors and fellow fairies when I wasn't even invited to Phoebe's party. I was the only fairy in the room.
Tragic. Tragic. It must have been simply dreadful.
Public humiliation is never very easy. So I moved to another kingdom where no one knew me well, and I became the queen. And I ruled my castle and my kingdom with an iron fist. Get a sensitive heart. And I purchased that mirror from Wizard because he said it would allow me to keep an eye on my domain without having to travel far. These old bones don't travel well, you know. But as you can tell, that mirror is obviously defective.
It was not through this mirror that you first met Snow White.
Yes, it made me aware of her presence. However, it started to malfunction shortly thereafter.
In Snow's testimony, she claims that the apple that you gave her had been poisoned. Did you poison her?
Heavens no! Well, the young lady did not wash the apple prior to eating it, which is why I always thought mine the whole food, you know, they have the whole organic ingredient. So the apple may have poisoned her.
And what about Dorothy?
Dorothy is a two-bit, low-down, murderous character.
Ixnay on the head scale.
I'm sorry, excuse me, what you were saying, sir?
Moving right along. What about Hansel and Gretel? Did you plan to cook and eat them?
Oh no, the little urchins just misunderstood. Yes, I did say I wanted to fatten them up. They've been lost for a while. They hadn't had a good meal, and my maternal instincts just kicked in. And yes, I was warming water for a bath, and it was in the kettle I cook in, but that is the only kettle I have. The little dears just misunderstood.
But in Gretel's testimony, she claims that you attempted to make her your slave. Is this true?
No, not at all. I did ask her to do a few things around the house. I am a little offended.
Well, that's certainly understandable. Now, the final charge being brought against you tonight is speeding on your cruise. How do you explain that one?
Well, the air traffic controllers weren't right that day, so I made her go just a little bit off the handle. If you give me a chance, I promise to make a clean sweep of my past.
I will certainly try. Thank you. No further questions.
You may cross the witness.
I have nothing to say to this bitch. This witch.
Closing statements.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the jury, you've heard many testimonies tonight that prove that this witch is a menace to society. It is now your moment to do the right thing and put her away for her crimes, so your paths, our paths, are safe to walk again. I can see only one verdict: guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've seen by now how my client has been greatly wronged and has suffered only for her attempts at kindness. Please don't add to the wrongdoings that she has already suffered. After hearing her side, give her the rest of her golden years in peace by finding her not guilty.
The jury will deliberate.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the jury, you have heard the testimony on both sides. And now it is your turn to decide. I'm going to count to 3. When I reach 3, if you believe Miss Witch to be guilty, pull out the word guilty. And if you believe Miss Witch to be innocent, pull out the word innocent. When I have your decision, I will raise my hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Better luck next time, old chap.
No. It ends with something about fat-free milk.
Where have I gone wrong? I try to put these criminals away, and for what? They're just set free. Time and time again. But we never have our happily ever